Yo, what's up? It's ILBR Book Reviews. We are here yet again.
We're
I am your
back.
co-host Javier Bardem, and with me, as always, is Josh Brolin. You may know us from No Country for Old Men, a movie that we starred in together.
Good
But
times.
yeah, we're here to do another one. Good times on old
Good old
No Country for Old Men.
times.
But yeah, we're here for a little weekly, what do we call it? Recap update.
Oh yeah, a little weekly.
Oh
Remember if we did
yeah.
recap or update? Let me look
Hmm.
on our channel.
Semantics.
Recap, weekly recap,
Big ol' friggin' recap.
big old fat recap.
Just a big old fatty. So yeah, here we are.
Mm.
How was your week, man? Tell me all about it.
I've been working, playing Call of Duty, which is a problem.
Mm.
I can already sense it. Getting its grasp back on me. It's really only because it's this nostalgic feel. So I don't know if you know, or what is it? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 just came out. And the only
Mm-hmm.
reason I even find it compelling at all, because most Call of Duty games I don't like, because the time
Mm-hmm.
to kill is so fast and everybody's so good at video games now. Like, you can't really play anything casual anymore. Like, everybody's like a god at video games now. So anyway,
Mm.
but
That's
it's
a
just
bummer.
all the maps that are used are from Modern Warfare 2, which was the first game that was maybe not the first game that was online accessible, but for our age group, it's like
Mm-hmm.
everybody's top, like any guy our
Yeah,
age is
like
like, oh,
that
dude,
in
Modern Warfare
Halo.
2. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so it's all those same maps. So it's just it takes me back. It's not obviously
Yeah.
fully the same, but then a lot of my guys from work are playing right now too, so they've been roping me in. That's always a
It's
good
kind of
time
like a
playing video
trend right
games.
now too, isn't it? Because isn't Fortnite doing like their old maps right
Yeah,
now?
I think a lot of people are back on Fortnite now. I guess it's the old thing from when it
Yeah,
first came
Garrett
out.
just messaged me. He just sent me a picture. He just played, and he said his first game back on. He hadn't played in like a year, and he won
You got a little
in
victory
Fortnite. And then he got another
royale.
one after that. Apparently,
Dude,
it's
remember that
probably
time in life when
untrue.
people were posting pictures of victory royales on their stories?
Mm-hmm.
Man, back in
Oh,
simpler
it's
times.
yep, better days. But I definitely
Better days.
can definitely relate to you on a spiritual level about everybody being too good. I mean, that was you've played games with me a lot. Like I'm already really bad at them, so it's just I mean going 4-40 in Call of Duty is just a waste of time
Dude,
for
I
me. Like I
forgot
just
you
can't
played
keep
with
up.
us that one time when we played ranked, right? And we all low key didn't get. We played ranked. It was like me, you, Mitch, and someone else, and Luke maybe. And
Yeah,
dude,
I
we
did
got
particularly bad though.
rolled, dude. I remember I
Yeah,
went
we did.
like 2-19, and basically was
Yeah,
averaging that every time. Because I mean, it's just too much, dude. It's too much. It's like, what do these
yeah,
people do? Like, I mean, I love playing video
yeah.
games, but it's
I feel like
obviously
you and I
so
would
far
do
now.
well, like either in duos or sometimes with like Mitch or somebody else. We do all right in Apex sometimes, but like
Apex is a
probably
little
not
easier to me.
8 or 9 times out of 10 though, we were still getting wrecked.
It just depends on who you're playing. That was when I was on console still. I swear that the Xbox parties are so much easier than the PC parties. Like whenever I would match up with Mitch or Luke in Apex, and we're decent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, we're grinding. I mean, we're literally doing everything we can just to prolong fights. But
Mm.
yeah, I think it's more a lot of these guys play a lot, so it's fun playing games with the crew. But
Yeah.
I will say,
Mm-hmm.
um, today I read a little over 100 pages at work of the one I've been reading. I should keep remembering it, but dude, this author, man,
This is the ML Wang book.
yeah, dude, it's Blood Over Bright Haven. I mean, it's such a different. It's like a completely different story than Sword of Kaigen. And dude, it's just so good. And it's so different. It's such a different fantasy. It's I don't know. I one day we'll have to reread some of these. So far, I mean, I think it's the writing style. You can tell she's gotten better as a writer because at the beginning of Sword of Kaigen, I don't know, just the way certain things were worded, I was like, I don't know. I mean, not that I know how to write any better, but
Yeah.
you read Sanderson, it just it flows. Whereas I don't know, some things sounded a little rough, but then dude, the story itself was just so good it just didn't even matter, and then it got better. But this
Mm-hmm.
one, I mean, it's great. Um,
That's good.
Anyway, so I'm
How,
a
how
little over
like long
halfway
is
done with
it?
that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, dude, I swear I have it on my Kindle, and I was reading on my phone today. It says that it's 600 or 527 pages, but dude, it really feels shorter than that. Dude, it's got 4.51 rating or 5 stars on Goodreads. I mean,
Really?
it only has 1,500 ratings, but it
Oh.
just when did it come out? It came out this year, I know. Yeah, July 2023. But anyway, it's really good.
Mm.
I'm liking it a lot. And dude, that's kind of saying something too, because I've kind of picked it up and put it down a little bit, um, just because we've been busy filming, and then just with
Yeah.
work and stuff, I haven't been able to read as much. And I'm still like, because I don't know if you feel this way. Like sometimes when you're reading a book and then like you get busy and you go a couple days without reading it, you kind of get taken out of the world, and then it like
Mm-hmm.
takes like a couple of chapters normally for you to kind of
Mm-hmm.
get back in. Dude,
Yeah.
I didn't like. I picked it up like at work, and I was like, I'll like read a chapter. And dude, I was like immediately engrossed. So anyway,
Mm.
I'm excited
That's
to
nice.
maybe do like a small review for that. But I need to tomorrow. I really am gonna. I work at a slower store, so I'm gonna bring the Well of Ascension. Um, and
Nice.
I'm gonna read a couple chapters. Start that tomorrow. Cause so what you been? When did you start it? You started it 2 days ago.
Yeah, I only read like 30 pages when I first started because it was at night and I was kind of busy that day. And I read Napoleon as well. So, but I read a lot today. I'm like 150 pages in now. I'm in part 2.
How is it so far? Obviously, no spoilers, but compared to book one, are you liking it more or less? Same?
I can already.
Is it
It's
starting to ramp up?
yeah, it's feeling
Implications.
more. Yeah, like more like Sanderson starting to put more like weight on things, like in the sense that you know how he like, and I guess a lot of writers do this, but like a chapter will end with something that's not a big reveal, but it's a little tidbit of information. You're like, oh, like something much bigger than just the like
Yeah.
the narrative right now is going on, like behind the scenes. So starting to like kind of set some of that stuff up. So I would say it's feeling more like things are about to pop off in a bigger way, like which not that the first book didn't feel that way, but it's good. It's good. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. It's definitely the first part's definitely a good bit of like building stuff up, but there's some developments that are there's definitely something going on.
All right. Well, hey, I'm ready to get ready to get into it.
Nice.
God, dude, I felt that
Yeah,
like
it's
coming
good.
on from so long away. I thought I was gonna be
Yeah,
able to withhold it, but yeah, I'm excited
yeah.
to get into it.
Dude, you're reading a lot right now. I'm only reading Napoleon and Well of Ascension. You're reading both of those, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, that other fantasy. Is there something else you're not telling me about that I don't know, or is it just
Yeah,
4?
the
I
Bible
mean, you
as
do that.
well. Um,
Is that right?
that was right, dude. I swear every morning, Dad. I swear I'm getting in my proverbs of the day. Dude, ripped and Marshall Chambers, man. Those morning
Oh,
proverbs
dude.
really. I honestly need to get back in the Word. If you know what I'm
Him and
saying.
Ed Tucker, dude.
Was it Ed?
Well, no, I'm just saying he's because they were both like the ones that would do the announcements, over the
Oh yeah.
intercom. And Ed would always say, "And have at the end of
Have a great
everything,
day.
he'd say, and
Yes.
have a great day at ELCA." That's right.
Mm.
Um,
Nostalgic.
but yeah,
But yeah, I've had a decent week. I'm excited to really crack down and read a little bit more tomorrow. Because I
yeah,
don't go in until 12 again, so I'll be able to wake up and
yeah,
read a lot. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm ready to get, dude. I wish I could just read all day every day, and
yeah.
as
Me too.
time goes by, I think I just realize that more and more. So hopefully one day we can make that a reality for
I'm
sure.
ready,
Skis.
brother. I am
Did you
ready. I
do a
don't
lot
know
of
what
driving
just
around
happened
today?
here to my lights, but yeah, I've
At
had a pretty
all?
solid last week as well. Just kind of working and uh, what is happening? Working and reading. I've been able to read a good bit lately. I'll be able to read some more this week. Like I said, reading those 2 books, Napoleon and Well of Ascension, 2 very different books.
Huh.
I won't be able to. I'll read more tomorrow. Not much Friday because I'll be heading down to Florida, and then me and Taylor are going to some island, staying in some house or something that her family's getting. But we're
That
going
sounds
there a couple
exotic.
days early, so we're just going for the weekend.
Just going to some
So I'll be
island.
hanging with
Not a big
her, and then
deal.
also reading some. Huh? Yeah.
You're
Well,
just
not
going to
like I
some
don't think
island.
it's
It's
like
not really a big deal.
it's
It's,
like
it's
like a
called
I think it's
Fajai or
like
something like that, or
yeah, something like that. Abisha.
something about like
Um,
a.
I don't know, dude. My lights keep like just
You should have a little
voluntarily
orb
changing
going, dude.
colors. Um,
It'll blend in with the background. But yeah, so
but
we
yeah,
just
yeah.
we just we agreed for this video. We both had not listened or like read the prologue for Stormlight 5, and
Mhm.
it kind of matches your mic in a weird way. Like it went
I mean,
blue. Well, now your mic's
I'm just not
changed,
even
but
gonna keep messing with it.
it is what it is. And so we did, and we'll briefly talk about that. Hopefully, do you think we
Yep.
can do that in 20 minutes?
Yeah, I'm sure we can get through it.
Dude, there's just so
Yeah,
much that happens, though. It's almost tough
yeah. There's a
to
lot
keep
that happens. So yeah.
it short. What's the biggest thing that stuck out to you from?
Well, I'll just say, just to clarify, if you need to stop watching this if you're not caught up on
Oh,
Stormlight.
yeah,
This is the unreleased prologue. I mean,
rough
officially
draft.
unreleased rough draft prologue of book 5. So it is the don't listen anymore.
Is it the Knights of the Wind? Is there a release title or no? I feel like I've
I
seen
think
something
the
on Reddit.
working title is Knights of Wind and Truth.
Okay,
Brandon hasn't released. I don't think he's released it. That's official. And like on Reddit, they still just call it. Well, like they call it both, but sometimes they
they do
just
the little
say
acronym, don't
Stormlight
they?
5. Yeah, or they'll do the Knights of Wind and Truth acronym, or just say SA5. So,
First
yeah. So
thing.
prologues have been the night of Gavilar's death. We've gotten different viewpoints, and now we get the man himself,
Oh,
Gavilar. And
Gavilar.
dude, just
What's your
I mean,
first thought
so
of
much.
Gavilar?
I mean, dude, kind of a dickhead,
Dude, is he a
honestly.
bad person? Is all I'm like, dude, I didn't realize
Like
that he was not a good person.
he's not a great guy. I mean, it's like, you kind of don't, the way he's presented here, you don't really like him that much.
No.
Um, Especially with what we know at this point, because this is obviously however many years in the past, 6, 7 years now at the current point in the timeline. So
It's 10, isn't
yeah,
it? Or no?
is it 10 at this point? I think it's a
I
little
don't know.
under
The
10. I think
only
it's
reason
like
I even want
7.
to say 10, dude, and this is really jumping ahead, is I heard someone have a theory that you know how at the very end of the prologue, the Stormfather, which that's another theory,
Yeah, quote unquote.
is like, oh, a herald just died. And so anyway, it was
Mm,
just a theory of like who could it be that died, because we know like certain ones are still alive, obviously. And I guess it's the girl's name that starts with the C or something. Apparently, she
yeah,
has red hair,
Chana
and
Datch. Yeah, there's that theory that she's
she's
Shallan's
Shallan's
mom.
mom, which would be wild. So then, in like a
Yeah,
sense, she's the one who like kind of created the. Can you imagine if Shallan not only has to carry the burden of killing her dad, mom, and
and a Spren.
and a Spren, that she also is really the reason that the recreance happens again or whatever it is. She just has to bear
Man,
the burden.
yeah, it's ridiculous. That would be crazy if true. I mean, obviously we don't know, but it definitely seems to be hinted at, and there seems to be some stuff that would support it. I've seen a lot of people talk about it on Reddit. Like before this even came out, people were theorizing that
Her mom was potentially.
that Herald was Shallan's mom. So yeah, basically what we get out of this is, first of all, we learn that Gavilar was talking with the Stormfather, or quote, or who seemed to be the
Yeah,
Stormfather.
dude.
Who knows? It might have been Odium himself, for all we know.
Apparently,
He definitely doesn't act like the Stormfather.
the biggest theory though, have you heard of who the biggest theory people think it is?
No.
Is what's his face? Is Shar.
Oh yeah, yeah. It could be
I
Ishar.
watched a couple of videos breaking down why they think it's a Shar, and how they think that he was bonded to the Stormfather before, and like has, I guess, some powers to do vision stuff because he's a
Mm-hmm.
bondsmith. So that kind of
Mm-hmm.
would explain, I guess, the vision that he's giving him.
Mm-hmm.
But also,
Could
like
definitely see it.
they were saying that I guess there's some discrepancies, like how the Stormfather, he's not able to see into buildings, and so like because like when Dalinar's like
Oh.
trying to see inside of Eretharu, he couldn't see inside the building, whereas in the one he was in, like because Dalinar can only see on the outside using the bondsmith powers, and then I guess in the thing with the Gavilar, he was able to you know see inside that building or whatever they were doing. I can't even remember.
Right.
But I just saw where they were saying that's like a negative, which I mean, obviously, just the whole tone of it is just
Right.
not the Stormfather that we know.
Yeah, he just says different things. He acts differently. Like his goals are a little different. It seems like. So yeah, I mean, I don't. I just don't know what could be going on because I mean, it seems like the quote unquote Stormfather like might have lied, to
Yeah.
Gavilar. So there's just several things, or I guess he did lie. There's just several things that are
When he said he'd never bond a colon again, which
right,
I mean,
which
which
he obviously the
he
Stormfather does,
did,
which
but
right,
I don't know. I don't know if that's proof enough, but it definitely is
yeah,
not the vibe. It's not even close to the same vibe that we've seen time in and time
yeah.
out.
And there's several interesting things like at the end, and I have it pulled up here just to kind of reference it again, but like, and we can go back like to the beginning as well, but when the Stormfather says that a herald has died, he says, a herald has died. No, I am not ready. The oath pact, no, they mustn't see, they mustn't know. And it's like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And Gavilar at this point has been told that all the heralds are dead, which
Yeah, they're in damnation.
could seem like something that Ishar would lie and say to like keep any, I guess,
Yeah.
concern. But yeah, there's definitely something
Well,
crazy going on there, and then he just kind of abandons Gavilar when he gets killed by
well, it was
Zeth.
something about as well that the Stormfather doesn't have like a knowledge of when Radiants die, whereas other Radiants
Mm.
know when Radiants die.
You mean heralds?
Or sorry, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
heralds. That he doesn't know when
yeah,
heralds die, but there's a I can't remember what herald it is, but one of them's like, oh, dude, something just happened in the
right.
actual like Stormlight chapters. That it was kind of cool to see a little note to the dude who ends up being that high judge for Adeline and Maya's.
Yeah, the
Well, he ends up
herald
not,
Kellic.
but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he's in there,
I
and
didn't realize who that was at first. Like I didn't
yeah,
upon
that's
first
Kellic.
listening to it until like I heard someone breaking down.
Yeah,
Obviously I know Nail, but
yeah.
um,
Which Kellic is the? I mean, it takes you all the way back to the very first prologue of the prologue when Kellic is the last one to throw his sword down when all the heralds
mm,
abandon the oath pack in the beginning. That's Kellic. He's that first one. Um, which at this point, obviously, we've seen him more in Rhythm of War and now here. But Gavilar doesn't know that he's a herald. Obviously, he thinks they're dead. But then, Restairs makes a comment, or maybe Nail does, which this is
the Restairs guy is the guy that is elusive to me. I still can't pin down.
that's
He
Kellic.
It is. Oh, sorry, not
Yeah,
Restairs.
that
The
is
guy who
Kellic.
wants to find Restairs is the guy in charge of the group Shalom was working for.
Mraze, yeah.
So that was Moraes that came in
No,
first.
Mraze isn't in. No. Oh, wait. I think Mraze did come in.
I
Did
don't
he
think
come
he
in?
does. I don't think he does. But
Okay,
I can't
no,
remember
no.
that
Yeah,
first guy's
no.
name. Who comes in at first and is like, "Yo, you don't want to mess with me." And then apparently that's like Elantris stuff. What he does.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what
That's
I've
a totally
heard.
different person. That's Thydakar. Thydakar, who
Thydakar,
is supposedly
like a problem,
or
right?
from what Mraze has said, that's like Mraze's boss. That's the guy he's
Okay.
working for is Thydakar. And yeah, I've heard that, we haven't read this, but I've heard that it's someone using a similar
Like
either
a power.
being or device
Oh
as
yeah,
the cube that Shallan had in Rhythm of War.
yeah.
Like it's
Okay.
something similar to that being, I think. I could have misunderstood or that could just be
Yeah.
wrong. But
I heard people talking that it's definitely from Elantris though. Like that
okay, yeah.
lore or whatever power is
Yeah, it's like
happening.
a seal or a soul.
Yeah, which could
Sion.
yeah. I like kind of tuned out because I didn't want to because like you said we haven't read Elantris yet, but I kind of want to be
Right.
somewhat surprised. But anyway, there seems to at first I was like, dude, what's going on? Because what deal does he have to where he can potentially become a herald? Which
Who?
obviously
Who is
has
that?
to be a
Sorry.
lie. Gavlar, like when he's talking with the
Yeah, that's a
Stormfather.
complete lie. That's he's thinking he's going to become a herald. Yeah.
So that is the main thing where I'm like, dude, what? How did
Like
he get this set up? Like, what did he do for this?
yeah. I mean, he was clearly being fooled by someone. And I mean, we're not going to know for a minute, I imagine, what actually happened there. Um, but it just kind of opens up this whole other question, which it would make sense if it was a Shar, because that's obviously going to be a big part of Book 5 is Kaladin and Zeth going to um, freaking Shinovar to talk to Rashar for Kaladin to use his,
Yeah.
psychiatrist powers on him or whatever. Um, but yeah, some crazy other stuff happens in here, man. I mean, Rastairs talks about how he knows where Ado Mishram, uh, that unmade is, the one that like tried to like basically take over and like basically be Odium, but it didn't work
Yeah.
out, and then they ended up, locking Ado Mishram away. Um,
He says some too wild, and this may be what you're about to say about how they've like betrayed someone, and like, you know what I'm talking about?
uh,
It was something about maybe that's what you're talking about. Maybe that's who they were like, oh, I can't remember off the top of my head now. Again,
yeah,
I listened to it, and I will say I wish I would have read it. I love Brandon Sanderson and everything that he's
yeah,
done, obviously, because the series is amazing, but it was horrible. His audio reading skill, or his like, he was trying to do like an audible impersonation, and bro, it was
right,
literally, it was in a moment. I mean, it was multiple moments where he would read it, mess it up, then go back, not like just reread the one word. He would like go back and try and
right,
restart the sentence, and he did it during like when Gavlar's dying from Zeth. It's like this high stakes moment, and then he like fumbles the word like lightning or something, so he goes back, and it's like it just immediately takes you out of it, which was tough,
yeah,
but.
yeah. That
I
is
still do
tough.
love you, Brandon, but Audible is definitely not your skill.
Yeah, he's obviously got other skills that he excels in, but um and then there was a whole thing where Gavilar was saying like you find out how he, or you don't find out the mechanics of it, but you find out that he is getting,
Void Light.
well, I guess you know the mechanics of it, but yeah, he's getting void light, and that's how he's getting it from Damnation, which is Braze, another planet, and that's
Which I
obviously
still don't know
how.
how they're getting that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not Shadesmar, I haven't the slightest idea how
So
they're
how are
doing
they getting
this.
stuff from? So you're saying that it was insinuating it was coming from the planet that's Damnation?
Yeah, he says right here, we'll be able to bring them back. Wait, sorry, this was a different part. Let me see if I can't find the exact quote. But he essentially says we can bring the void light through the high storm, um, from Damnation. I mean, that's pretty much all he says. I don't think he
Hmm.
really explains how.
Yeah.
Um, but oh yeah, we can move void light from the storm here, move it between here and Damnation as you've wanted. That's what he says to Rastairs, because Rastairs Kellic is trying to get off of Roshar, which we find out in Rhythm of War. So I guess that's somehow you know they think that's going to help him be able to do that.
Yeah. The Sons of Honor group is kind of cool to get some insight into that. And to see the people that know about what's going on. It is kind of cool to get more perspective on why Gavlar's like last words like are what they are, like at least from
Right.
his perspective, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. Which is a nice bit of closure on understanding what he meant. Which I don't know if Dalinar ever like on page actually made the connection that he was referring to him saying the like an ideal. But that's an interesting facet of it too. It's like, what did is Ishar or whoever this quote unquote Stormfather is just leading Gavilar along? Because there's several times in this prologue where Gavilar says something trying to say the words, and at one point the Stormfather even says, "Oh, those were almost the words." So he's clearly made him think that he's got to do ideal. So it's like, what like was the plan here? But then
yeah,
basically Gavilar kind of speaks his like mind about what he wants to do.
just wants that eternal life.
Yeah, and then that's when the Stormfather's like, "Oh, like I've miscalculated. Like you weren't the one."
Yeah, which what is his goal? I still don't. And dude, this could just have already been answered, but I mean, who is in control of Zeth? Because I know it's the Parshindi, but
Yeah, I don't
because
think we.
is it not Eshonai or Vinley or someone that goes and like, hey, there's this guy, I need to go talk to him. He's here. Whose prologue was that? Was that the prologue of the last book? Who was prologue? Or no, it was Navani, right? Navani was
Sorry,
the
I
prologue.
lost you there for a minute. Can you repeat? My
Who
bad.
was the previous prologue POV for Rhythm of War? Was it Navani?
It was Navani. Yes.
I thought maybe it's
No, wait.
or
Hold
is it
on. We had
Eshonai or
First book was Zeth.
Yeah,
Then we've had a
Jasna.
Jasna. We've had a
I think it's the third book's maybe. I think it's a Parshindia. I want to say it's Vinley or
is it
Eshonai.
Eshonai?
Maybe Eshonai. Yeah.
I thought this one was Vinley.
Maybe this one was Vinley and the previous one was
Or Rhythm
Navani.
of War was Vinley. Yeah, I can't now. I can't remember. I'm ashamed to
One of
say.
them's 1000% Navani because I remember her peeking in. I want to say I don't know. I want to say the last one was Navani only because of the void light thing, and I feel like she saw it. But
Okay, so Zeth Prologue, Jasna, then Eshonai, and then the last one was oh, it doesn't say on this is an old post. It
it's
was
definitely
Navani though. I'm
Navani.
pretty
Yeah.
sure.
So it's Esh and
Um,
I. Then I think that I'm just saying who has Zeth's O Stone and tells him to kill Gavlar.
yeah,
Is
there
it a
was a yeah.
Parshendi?
To answer your question, there is a scene where I believe it's Vinley is told by Nail that there is a man here
That's what it is.
that whatever. I don't know how she actually. I guess did he give her a stone? Maybe he did. I don't know. Because he was still quote unquote bound to the O stone at that point.
Yeah.
Um, so
I need some backstory with that still. I mean, obviously everybody does, but I'm like, I mean, Zeth is still just. There's so many questions about him, man. This next book, I feel like is going to be a banger. Because
yeah,
I
I mean
keep
it's going
seeing
to
a
be
lot of
wild. It's
theories where a lot of
close to
people
the first
don't think
arc.
that Gavlar's dead, bro. They think he's going to be like Odium's champion or something.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen different theories insinuating that either Gavilar's the champion or he's alive, but
How, dude? He took his
I
shard
mean,
blade, right?
how? No, he broke his back on like he
Yeah, he
fell
fell. But
and
Zeth
like his
doesn't
body
shard
just
blade him?
broke.
Or is that not
No,
on page at least? No?
not that I recall.
Oh, maybe not.
But either
Zeth
way,
like summons his sword, I know in this, but then he's like
I'm
fading
not
into the
big in
light.
people coming back to life, though. I will say that. Like it worked with Jasna because she was, a radiant, and her power is literally to go to Shadesmar. But I'm not huge on the people coming back to life, so I kind of hope Gavilar is not coming back.
Yeah.
Um, but I know that if he did, Brandon would do it in a way that I'm sure I would enjoy very much with no complaints. But either way, I mean, it's interesting that this is. I mean, it makes sense because these first 5 books are a whole arc, and the second 5 are their own arc, according to Brandon. So it makes sense that this first one would end with Gavilar, and that we're going to get different prologues the next 5 books.
That's
But
true. Like a
obviously, the
different
stuff
story,
in
maybe.
here is like the most important stuff we've gotten in a prologue thus far. So like the Stormfather is a big part, Thydakar, Nail, and Restairs all being like, in this little secret group, Sons of Honor or whatever, and Amaram and all them. It just adds so many complexities to the scenario. Like to know that Nail was like involved so far back in like the main thread of the story. This Thydakar guy, which I think there's like theories out there on who he is, or maybe you do know who he is if you've read everything in the Cosmere. I'm not sure. I've seen some stuff about it, but either way, man, it just seems like it's setting up some wild stuff for the future for sure. The Stormfather thing is the most compelling thing in here, I think.
Yeah, I think
Um,
Ishar is going to be a huge part of this next book. Obviously, that's the whole arc for Kaladin and Zeth, but I feel like he's going to play a big part somehow, like just in
yeah,
general.
yeah, I think so
So
for sure.
that, and I
But yeah,
wonder.
I'm
I feel like
hyped.
there's definitely going to be something that happens that we're just not ready for, like something else out of left field. Because I mean,
Right.
it just makes sense. I do need more of a rundown. I can't wait to reread these. Obviously, now that you have like understanding of like, okay, these names are going to be important. Remember them, even though like, all right, you're
Right.
going to read them once, and then 4,000 pages later, you need to remember them. And so
Yeah.
it's like, okay, who are these people again? Because I know most of them are important. I mean, obviously, like Amaram and like some of the main guys that are there, like obviously are easy recall, but um, a lot of the other ones,
And
I'm
then
like,
Taravangian. I don't think we've talked about him
oh
being
yeah,
there.
he's being there, yeah, and making
He's
some
involved from the beginning.
comments, which it's like because he gets the oath stone. I guess that's what I don't understand. It's like, okay, so he's there, but he's not the one that has him ordered to kill. Like, I mean, that's, you know what I mean, like How does
Yeah,
he
it's
get
very
the spell?
confusing. I think we'll probably get that because I think these are going to be Zeth flashbacks in book 5. So I'm sure we're going to get all those answers. But yeah, I don't really know. We may be missing something because there's just we've only read the books once and there's so much to remember. So we may be missing the specifics. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not confident on all that stuff as far as Zeth's origins in the story. But yeah, basically Gavilar just mentions the desolation and Taravangian gets like freaked out and he's like, "Where did you hear those words?"
My
Um,
mother said those words.
yeah, it's like whoa. Um, so yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean Gavilar, biggest thing, Gavilar is talking to something he thinks is a Stormfather, thinks that the Heralds are dead and he's going to become one, which is like there's no other places in these books that we've heard anyone talk about the possibility of becoming a Herald. Like it's been Night Radiance, obviously,
Yeah.
Knights Radiant, whatever you say it, but I've never heard of anyone thinking you can do something to become a herald.
Yeah. And
Which,
I mean,
like, what even is the difference
yeah, how did
necessarily?
they become heralds? Yeah.
Yeah, like we don't even really know. Like, I think there's been mentions that they were normal people at one point, but we still don't know how they became
Yeah.
heralds. I guess maybe they were like the first.
Because he asked him something about like how like, oh well, are you sure you know like what it costs? And he's talking about how
Mm,
insanity like plays a part, and he's like, well, how long does it normally take for that to happen for you to become insane? He's like, all right, well, that means I got 1,000 years to figure it out, kind of thing. Which is
right,
interesting to think about if that is a Shar. If that's not
right.
the Stormfather, telling him that, but
Yeah, which it really does make a lot of sense that it would be him, especially what we got towards the end of Rhythm of War with him basically leaving that voicemail for Dalinar in his mind about how his mind is like too far gone and it seems like he only has moments of like lucidity. So
yeah,
like which Ishar was doing this, like it's very complicated, man. This book's definitely gonna be crazy. It sounds like it's gonna be longer than any of the other ones based on the word count, unless I'm doing the
yeah,
math wrong. It sounds like it's gonna be at least a couple hundred pages longer. I know he'll condense it down some, but 88% was what you said the other day was his update.
yeah.
As far
He,
as how
he
far
continued
along he
to
is.
give it to
So
him. Yeah, I'm
so I mean
hyped,
we're
dude. Hyped for us to get
yeah,
our
man.
reviewer edition,
Our signed reviewer edition.
dude. Can you imagine we get an early release copy?
Oh man, that'd be
Dude,
something
that's the
else.
goal, man. All right, so it is November 15th, 2023. The real goal is to just make it enough to where we get those editions by next November. Or well, I
That's
guess
all we
probably
need.
next September, however many months before. Cuz I mean, what's his face? Mike's already got a copy and he's about to be done with the new Empire of the Vampire book, and that doesn't come out till like April or something. Like it doesn't come out till
Really.
maybe not April, but it's definitely in 2024 is when that book comes out.
Dang.
So I mean, it's a
That's
good
kind of
4
wild.
months before. It's like, dude, that's the dream.
Hmm. That would be so
The
nice.
absolute dream. But yeah, that's all I got to say right now. I do think we need to revisit this to watch some theories and then kind of just bounce theories around. But I mean, I'm glad that he released this because it's definitely got me thinking more. Got me excited for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and there's actually a couple other chapters out. I think he's released like 3 additional chapters in this same format.
I think you're right because I've seen some artwork of like Zeth and his father in a field with like a goat, and I'm like, what?
Really
Where's this material coming
interesting.
from? It's from
Yeah,
that
it's I mean
Laramie
it's
girls page.
oh nice. Yeah, I mean this is I saw it on here. Yeah, there's definitely other chapters. I haven't read them yet, but there's definitely other chapters, which who knows what little things he's going to change. These are drafts and these were a while back.
What are you on? You on?
Relatively. I'm on brandonsanderson.com.
Oh,
Um So yeah, it definitely gets me hype. We obviously have a lot of other Cosmere stuff to read, but this, I feel like the Stormlight's always going to be the rock for
the
me.
Rock.
But speaking of the rock, he was just on Rogan.
Was he
Um,
really interesting?
yeah, I think it came out today, and Theo Vaughn had Dana White on. I'm going to
I
listen to
saw
that
that, dude.
tomorrow.
I
I
saw
love
that,
listening to both of them talk. Dana White's
dude.
hilarious,
Did
and he
you
doesn't even
see
try.
him? No, did you see him on Theo's podcast? Theo was talking to him about how Peloton was one of his sponsors. Have you seen the whole podcast yet?
I haven't watched. I haven't watched it. I saw one clip where they were
Uh,
talking about I don't even remember what now. But
So,
no, I
dude,
have not seen what you're
essentially
talking about.
Peloton was a sponsor for Theo's podcast. He then interviews RFK. Peloton then backed out of like being a sponsor after that video because they said they couldn't, they didn't align. I don't know, so whatever.
Oh,
And
is this the clip about him talking about dropping a sponsor because of the Trump picture?
maybe it was a
Is
Trump
that what you're talking
involved
about?
thing too. Essentially, though,
Sorry.
Dana White calls his like rep or his like whoever and is like, get all the Pelotons out of the UFC
Oh.
thing or whatever. Like when Theo
Oh yeah,
tells
this
him
is
they
different.
canceled on him because of who he had on his platform, he was like, all right, yeah, we're not using Peloton anymore. And like on the podcast makes
Dang.
a call. I'm like, dude, Dana's such a savage.
No way. That's crazy. Well, that must have been right around the time he was talking about this other thing where he didn't say the sponsor, but he posted a picture of Trump being at the most recent event, and the sponsor reached out to him and was like, "Can you please like remove that picture? We don't want to be associated." And he just broke off all things with him. He said, "Go F yourselves. Like y'all aren't a sponsor for us anymore," which is just hilarious.
It's
Like
crazy that he
whether you're a
has
Trump fan or
so
not, it's
much
just
money that he
funny.
can do that.
Yeah, I think he's worth like over $500 million. He just
Wow.
posted too earlier that he just did a 86-hour water fast. And he posted a before and after picture, bro, and he looked shredded, which is like,
Dana did?
yeah, which is like, I get that's the point of it, but it's like, yeah, you look shredded because your
You're about
body
to
is
die.
eating itself. Like,
Yeah,
what are we
that
doing?
sounds horrible.
I'm sure. I
didn't
mean, I'm not a
realize
doctor, but
total switch up, but dude, Warbreaker itself is on this. I literally paid
the
for
whole book,
Warbreaker on on Kindle.
it's on Sanderson's website.
Yeah.
No way. That's hilarious.
I'm like, come on, man.
Oh, what do you know?
The 11th Metal's on here, short story. No way. If some of these are all on here, he has the first 10 chapters of The Sunlit Man.
It's honestly crazy how many books he has, bro.
He's the first 7 of Yumi. Yeah, it really is. He's got the first 6 of The Way of Kings. I like that, dude. He gives you enough to get.
Yeah.
What's
Gives
Legion?
you enough to. I mean, it's a series. I don't know anything about it. I've seen it before. That's under collections. I don't really know.
Is that a Cosmere thing?
No,
Oh.
I don't believe so.
Deleted scenes, bro. He has deleted scenes chapters.
Yeah, I've heard about those. I've never looked at them though.
Oh, dude, this could be a problem, bro. There's
Oh, he has a Magic the Gathering book? What? That's kind of cool.
Interesting, dude. This is.
I don't want to read that.
God, dude, why? I kind of hate it when I find stuff like this. It's just like.
You're just about to dive in, brother.
It's like, I don't know. I remember, like, I saw the normal Lord of the Rings, like, I mean, countless times. Like, all of them, you know? And then I found out there were extended editions, and I was like, what? And they're like,
Yeah.
not just like a little bit extended. They're like an hour extended.
Dude.
It's like, dude.
It's a different movie.
It's like Aragorn saying he's like 86, and I'm like, what? I had no idea. Because, like, I remember when I read the book, and I'm like, dude, Aragorn's old. Because he's like, a different, like, I mean, he's human, but he's from that different line, And anyway, because that's not in the original cut, like, of the movies. And
well,
so,
yeah,
anyway.
and then like one of the best scenes in all of Lord of the Rings is when he kills the mouth of Sauron before the battle at the Black Gate in Return of the King.
Yeah.
And then he has this little speech. He cuts the mouth of Sauron's head off.
Yeah.
It's like one of the best scenes in the movies, and it was not in the theatrical version, which is crazy. But thank God for extended editions. Am I right?
I lost you for a second there, but
oh, well, I didn't say anything worth responding to. All right, well, I guess that's it on the prologue.
Yep, that's it. Next week we'll have a cool announcement.
Yes, indeed.
Next Wednesday we'll film it and put it up Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. All right, well.
All right, thanks for being with us. We'll see you again soon.
See you, man.